Hey, this is Jacob, the home fixer. My neighbor came by today and said, oh, I have a leak in my roof. My closet is getting wet. So I'm gonna go over there and look at it and see what's going on with this roof. It is an EPDM roof, so let's go and check it out. All right, it took me a couple hours to set up the scaffold to get up here, but here's the roof. It's a flat roof. And check out this hideous repair they did here. They tried to put a asphalt shingle overlapping a rip in EPDM, and you see this one's completely ripped there. Pretty bad. He's complaining about water in his closet. You see there's a hole here, there's a hole there. It's been there for a while. You can see the growth of stuff in there, plants. Let's get up on top and see if there's anything else. So yeah, we got that rip here. There's a small hole here. Okay. Some holes there around that piece there. A little bit of a rip there. And this boot here is completely gone. So all the water is just going into the roof there. Needs a new boot. It's got a hole here, so the water's just going right up under that EPDM. And right here, the EPDM is not even tucked under the shingles, so all that's getting wet. And this is just disintegrating. It's going bad there too. So yeah, it's got quite a bit of problems. This is repairable here. I could just tuck that back under the shingles. I guess they put nails and they didn't put enough. That's repairable. This is gonna need a little patch. That's gonna need a new boot. I think it's $50 for the boot. And this, we're gonna have to do a patch here. Because just to buy the EPDM for this, it's gonna probably cost $500 to $800 for this piece. And it's in fairly good condition, other than those holes. But that's all repairable. We'll see what he wants to do. If he wants to buy a whole piece, or if he wants to just patch up. This is patchable. I can just put a piece here and put some seam tape, and then I can go over it with some silicone on the seams. This just needs a new boot. And all these little holes, I can go over that with some silicone. All in all, I think it's repairable. I guess some of the mortar came off from that. That's all over the roof. And throw this down. But yeah, this is really bad right here. This is gonna bring all the water in. I'm surprised it's not too bad yet. The under stuff is okay. This board, but yeah, this needs to come off. This is goofy. This is really goofy right here. You can't use asphalt to cover up this stuff. It just doesn't work. Another thing I see is where they overlap the shingles, they didn't glue under it, so it's just kind of flapping there. I don't think it's gonna cause a leak if it's high enough up, but yeah, normally you'd want to put some silicone or some kind of roofing glue there to adhere the shingle to the rubber roof. You know, they're all loose. These ones should be glued down too. See, they're all loose. See, these ones are not. Oh, these ones are loose too up here. See, this one's not. So yeah, that needs to be glued down too. All right, so I tucked the EPDM back under the roof, but it's gonna need some more nails to hold that down. It's just under there for now, better than nothing. I'll come back with some nails in a little bit. You can see there's some nails that need to be done on the edge here, and then it needs to be, the seam right here needs to be siliconed over. Yeah. Now this is bad here though. All right, what I did to fix this is I put some acetone to clean it up. Right here, some acetone, clean the surface, and get some rubber roof, EPDM. Put some primer on both sides on the EPDM and this EPDM here, and give it a scrub. And then I'll put some seam tape on that, and then this will go on it, and it will stick. And just to top it off, I'll put some silicone on this edge, because sometimes over a few years they start to leak on the edge. So you put some silicone on the edge and you'll never get that problem. All right, so I re-nailed this up, and what I did is I nailed it up under the middle of this shingle. Okay, you don't want it on the sides where it can leak from this cut. Right there, and you want to use long, so 2, 2.5, 2.25. They had little tiny ones in there. They're not gonna be long enough. And I re-added some more on the end. These ones totally came out. They were too short. I'll silicone this up when I'm done so it doesn't leak on the nails. Another one there. That one was loose. Yeah, I'll have to buy some caulking, some roof adhesive, and glue it every single one of these down, because what will happen is the wind will get under there and start tearing these back. And the roof still, it's in okay condition. It doesn't need to be replaced quite yet. It is getting old, but it's still, I don't see any leaks from the actual roof shingles itself. So it's worth getting some adhesive and gluing these back down. And right here there's a crack. I don't know why they left a crack here, so I'm gonna have to put some seam, put a seam on there. Piece of EPDM right there so it doesn't leak inside. And same thing with this, I need to put a seam right there of some EPDM. So I got a strip here. I got a glue piece over that right there and go up pretty high. And same thing over there where that crack is. All right, there I have that seam that I patched up. You can see I put a nail at the top of it in the middle of the shingle. Wasn't even connected up top, so I had to secure it up there. Okay, got it all cleaned up, and that will never leak now. Same thing with this one, patch there. I'm gonna go over it with some silicone steel on the border just to make sure that doesn't leak later. All these patches will be siliconed over. Same with these ones over here. Okay, I'll go to the next one. Next hole right here. We got one here, and then we got one here that they try to put a piece of metal over here, but we'll cover that one up the right way. All right, there's a couple more patches there. Okay, ran that one all the way to the side there, so no rain could get up in here. That was just ripped open, so that was a big leak before. Same with that one. And those two were repaired there. And these two up here. Got this one tucked back under there. And I got one more little hole here. I think this one's not ripped all the way through, so I could just put some silicone over that one. And then this one, I'm gonna have to cut out a piece of EPDM and put some seam sealer all the way around in these two edges here. All right, I got a roll of EPDM and a roll. I saw it on Amazon. I think it's like $80 for 10 foot. Let's see what's up under the shingle. I'm just curious because it's okay. There's some nails. Yeah, there's another rip. There it is. All right, that's the wrong way to do a repair. All right, take these nails out. Kind of stupid. Nails in there. Okay. You see all this was just getting eaten up right here. It's all powder. I gotta brim this off. This is pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But we'll cover this up with a new piece. I mean, the wood underneath it's good. It's just that top layer of this compressed stuff that's kind of gotten wet, but it's actually pretty solid right here still. It's just this very edge, it's a little bit sunk in, but it'll be okay. All right, got that patch done. It's about I don't know, 2 foot. I didn't measure it. 3.5 feet by 2.5 feet, something like that. Got it all clamped down again. You can see he had a leaf filter come out and put leaf filters on, but look at all the water in there. It's full of water. See that? So either they didn't clean it before they put them on top and the gutter's clogged, or this thing is not it's not angled sloped properly, which I don't think it's sloped properly myself, but it could be just clogged. All right, let me show you one last thing I gotta do. And so this seam is well known to leak over time, to separate here. So what I'm gonna do is put some silicone on that seam line. I'm gonna do that on every single patch I did. That just gives it an extra security. And then this thing's all leak proof. Other than this, we gotta get a new boot for this. This boot has been deteriorated, ripped off. You can see it's all the water is just gonna gush in there right through here. So I think it's $50 for a boot. I'll have to order that on Amazon. All right, so this is the silicone top coat that I use. It's 100% silicone for roofs, and I coated everything, all my seams, because those seams are known to eventually peel up and leak. So if you silicone them like this, you won't have that problem. I did it on every single seam and every patch that I did. Even put some cloth there. They sell this cloth. It's a fleece. I have a whole roll of it. And if there's anything that needs like holes that are small, you can, like this one, I put the fleece over it and then I put the silicone over that, so that'll seal off that tiny hole there without having to put a rubber patch on it. Same thing with this one. Coated it really thick. And this stuff will flex when it gets cold. It'll flex and won't crack like that black tar stuff you get at Home Depot. That stuff's junk, especially for EPDM. Tighten these back up. Everything looks pretty good. All right. So this should be non-leaking. Other than this, we have to order this little vent pipe. And then I did put some fleece around this thing. It looked like it was cracking a little bit, so I put some fleece and some silicone to just make sure that don't leak too. All right, so we're cleaning the gutter. You see the silicone is already dry. Check it out. You see how waterproof that is? See that? Nice and waterproof there on that seam. All right, where the water is, where this gutter is at, the water is just sitting on this side and just holding it. It's not draining properly. So we're gonna either raise it on this side or lower it on that side. All right, got the gutter guards back installed, and now it runs down on a slope. We lowered the gutter. There's an angle going down now, so the water will go towards the gutter. Before it was just level. So now we just gotta wait on the little vent pipe over there, and everything else is fixed. It's all watertight now. This is already dry. This silicone's already waterproof. So it looks real good. Got this all tied back down.